Maynard. I'm the communications director at Rex Homes, and I'm here today with some of our market managers across the country, and really happy to have you here to just discuss the real estate market and the work you're doing. Why don't you just introduce yourselves, tell us about a little bit about why you came to Rex, and we'll jump into it.
Cool. Yeah. So thanks, Colin, for the time. I appreciate it. My name's Luke Smith. I'm the market manager for Southern California and Illinois. I've been with Rex for about 3 years now. I came from the traditional space in Illinois. I was a traditional agent in Illinois about 4 years previously to that. And the reason I joined Rex is just due to the consumer, right? I was in the fields and I noticed a lot of agents, a lot of buyers were starting to do their own research, right? With the real estate platforms such as Zillow and Trulia and stuff like that. And they were doing a lot of the legwork to where they would call me up and said, hey, I found a property on this website. Can you show me this home? And I would take them to that property. And it felt like I wasn't doing as much work to justify that commission. So when I heard about Rex and how they were a 2% commission and they were outside the MLS, that kind of motivated me as well as the tech aspect of it. So I reached out to Rex and fell in love with the concept. And I believe more in the company today than I did when I first joined 3 years ago. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm Matt Meehan. I am the market manager for Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Before coming to Rex, I've been with Rex about 1.5 years now. Before that, I owned my own real estate brokerage for almost 20 years. And I had sold it before joining Rex, just kind of happened to be good timing. But when I sold it, I did see the landscaping changing. And I knew that the real estate industry was ripe for a company, especially a tech company, an internet company, to come in and change how we do business. And that was part of the reason why I sold it. I was like, the old way of doing things is not going to be the same way anymore. And before that happens, I want to get out of this traditional world and move on.
Great.
And I'm Rick Rosenblum, the market manager for New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. I've been in real estate about 25 or so years and been self-employed for all of those years. And I've always been a discount real estate broker. I never bought in from day one to the 6% commission model. So during the times of good times and bad in real estate, which I've now lived through, and we're in now a COVID environment as well. So real estate's always a fluid business. I've always kept a consistent discount brokerage model. And when I found out about Rex and saw that the things that I weren't able to do as a sole proprietorship, that a company like Rex is able to do on a large scale across the country, it was not only intriguing, but my dream, because I've always had that vision of a real estate brokerage that drove the commissions down and provided that white glove service that Rex is able to provide. So we're doing what I've envisioned for many years.
Great. Rick, we all need your haircut during COVID-19. It seems like the right one to go with. Let me start off with just a real simple question. Tell me what a market manager actually does. Tell me, what are you managing? Is it customers? Is it are you doing the tours? Are you working directly with staff or contractors? Tell me a little bit about that. And then I'd love to hear just as in your day-to-day work, what is Rex doing to make your job easier? We offer a full suite of services, but in your role, how is all that coming together in what you do?
Yeah, I'll take this one. As market managers, we oversee, like it says, our markets. So, that's helping our agents, with questions and being a support for them and making sure they have the tools they need to be successful. In turn, they could help our clients be successful. It's helping our clients out as needed. And Rex has taken what I look in my territory. So, I got, 5 markets in 3 states that I oversee. And, I have a couple hundred listings probably under my umbrella. And I'm able to juggle and manage those on a regular basis quite easily because of the tools, the training that Rex provides all of us every day.
Yeah, Colin, just to add on that too as well. So a market manager in Southern California, we're a team. Imagine like a team of agents together like you have in the traditional space. But what I like about our team model is that in the traditional space, those are independent contractors, right? So they're very, hey, that's my client, stay away from them. There's no collaboration amongst the team members where it's really one-sided, where with our team at Rex and the market managers is you could throw ideas back and forth with each other. What are you doing in the marketplace? Kind of talk about that local knowledge as well, which I like is that team aspect of the buyers agents and listing agents and the cohesiveness involved, where in the traditional space it was more one-sided.
Great. Why don't I just? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
If you'd like, I can weigh in as
Absolutely.
well with one of the cool parts about Rex that I really enjoy is that we have segmentation of specialists, meaning a traditional real estate agent runs out to the listing, has their iPhone, takes the pictures of the house, goes into the trunk, puts the sign up, figures out where they're going to market it, if they're going to market it, and how they're going to market it. Whereas we have a team of data scientists that drill into the data side. We have a team of marketing experts that drill into the online and offline marketing. And then we have professional photography that just does photography, professional sign installs that just do sign installs. And then you have experts on real estate, boots on the ground, professional listing agents, buyer agents, brokers, market managers, everybody with their select expertise all working together as a team.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So having that in mind, how have things changed right now, even if it's just temporary? How has this global pandemic impacted how you and your team are operating right now?
So for us here, I mean, it's the uncertainty, right? We're in this 7 days a week. We do it, 24 hours a day, right? So we're the full-time people in it. So for us, it's just keeping our clients calm, right? Being that voice of reason right now to update them on kind of what's going on in the market. Because obviously, we might as well say what date and time it is right now, because by the time this call is over with, something could have probably changed, right? So for the record, it's May 29th at 12:48 Pacific Coast time. So just helping calm the sellers right now is, I think, extremely important. And that's what we're focusing on, is keeping them up to minute, up to date on what's going on with this recent changes.
I think if I can weigh in as well on the changes through COVID, this is an opportunity for those real estate companies and any business out there to really stretch themselves in terms of innovation. Whereas without these types of obstacles and challenges, you tend to just stay in your lane and not test and try and learn. So this is really a golden opportunity, and Rex, being a tech company, is really well positioned to plug in new and exciting programs and products, which is what we're doing as we speak.
That's great. So what, maybe, you all have so much experience, literally decades of experience. What would you tell maybe like a young agent that's trying to make it work in the middle of this? What would be your biggest advice to them in trying to maintain communication with their clients or showing something? What would be your big tip?
Be flexible. Sit down and be open to new ideas, to new technologies. Figure out whatever you can to make that work for you, when communicating with clients. So, if that means you got to go walk through the house, yourself with your cell phone, doing a video conference with potential buyers, I mean, that's a great way of doing it. Then go do it if that's what it takes to do it. If that means you have to work with the seller and have a Zoom meeting as your listing agreement, or your listing presentation, you sit down with them and have the seller walk through the house, show you the house, then, that's a good way of going about it.
I would tell the newer or younger agents to change their mindset to see, again, the opportunity and the excitement of being a part of a changing, ever changing real estate environment. Glass half full, glass half empty. I see it as full.
It's great.
Yeah, I
So
would just add, just real quickly, Colin. Yeah, just the consistency, right? You know, it's a consistency job. You got to put the effort and the time in. I know with the offices being closed for me, my schedule hasn't changed, right? You know, I still have my same phone calls. Probably spend more time actually now because there's no with the commute in LA. You know, I have more time to work, so actually I'm working more and making more phone calls during this downtime, putting in that extra work just to make sure my clients are 100% aware of what's going on.
that's awesome. Tell me a little bit about how you're keeping your customers, you're keeping yourselves safe during this time. Walk me through how you're, showing a home. What are the safety procedures and steps you take?
So in Southern California, we have a lot of different options for buyers right now. What's pretty interesting is that you don't have the looky-loos right now, right? Where it's cool to tell your friends, hey, I'm looking for a house right now, right? You don't have those conversations anymore. Now it's the people that are actually looking are serious, right? It's almost like in New Jersey, I'm sure during a winter storm, right? You don't have looky-loos coming out. It's just the buyers that are that want to buy now. So what is important for that is you could do a lot of, you could send them a long form video, which Rex does, that has a walkthrough of the property. It shows the functionality, the finishes of the home. So buyer could do a lot more looking at the home at their property, at their house, right? So we could send them the long form phone. We have a 3D tour that they're able to do as well. And then also we do a virtual tour where we would have one of our agents go to the property and do a walkthrough at the home as well for buyers. So they could do a lot more from their home by using a Rex agent, which I think is super helpful for them right now.
Yeah, my markets, two of my states, Florida and Georgia, are definitely starting to open up and allow showings and open houses. We just want to be careful. We want to be cognizant of the seller's wishes. So if sellers like, I don't want people in my house, that's fantastic. We'll figure out a way to do a long form video like Luke said. Same thing with buyers. If buyers go, hey, look, I really want to buy this house, but I don't want to go in it, that's great. But a lot of people, at least in my markets, are really wanting to go into the house. So we make sure we try to provide them with masks and gloves and give them the proper PPE equipment when they go into the homes for both the buyer and seller, so everyone feels comfortable. And we really work on doing our social distance while in a confines of someone's house.
That's great. Rich, how about you out in the tri-state areas?
Well, I think what we're going to end up seeing is not only as we are already doing with the virtual tours, but I think even post-COVID, a lot of these steps are going to remain because what we're doing is a better screening job of the buyer. And the buyers are doing a better screening of the house as well. They're doing their own drive-by because they don't want to go into a house unless they really like the house. So at every step of the way, there's a better vetting of the buyer, which means that when we do have a buyer, they're very likely to buy, whereas in the past we might have had 50 buyers, but only 3 of them were going to buy. So it's a nice dynamic.
Yeah. So I love that. So you're talking about how people are coming to Rex, buyers are coming to Rex, they've already vetted Rex, they know, they've checked out the houses. So tell me, like, what are some of the first conversations you'll have with a new client, and what do you think is like what brings them to Rex generally? What's the thing that ties it all together?
The first conversation we're going to have is really just to get to know each other. It's going to be a dialogue where we would ask them what attracted you to Rex.
Right.
We want to know what their thoughts were so that we know that they understand what we're about. And we want it to be a fit. If it doesn't make sense for them or it doesn't make sense for us, then it's not going to work. So we want to know that we're all on the same page and we learn about what the client wants. And of course, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what type of house they're looking for and what their particular situation is in geography, where they need to be and how that relates to where they work and so forth. But it actually starts with a friendly conversation about just let's get to know each other, almost like dating. You know, let's get to know each other.
Nice.
Yeah, I find that, really we kind of have two types of clients. You either have the very tech-driven, data-driven clients who really like that part of Rex, and they like that, we bring that to the table. And then you have the other set who are looking to, save money and like the fact that they get a full service real estate experience for a fraction of the fees that you would if you went to a traditional real estate agent.
Yeah, good point, Matt. I would just add to that too. And living in the cloud, right? They could do everything pretty much from their house with Rex, right? There's geo-specific, of course, but there's everything lives in the cloud. So if you want to do everything, you don't even have to leave your house almost for the whole transaction to take place. I know we've closed some deals to where the buyer didn't even look at the home until the inspection. They put an offer in without even viewing the home. Offer got accepted, inspection took place, everything went fine, and we closed, and there was really no headaches, and the ease of the transaction was completely smooth. And then on the buyer side, I mean, we have our buyer rebate program to where, we give commissions back to the buyer at the close of escrow as far as the closing credit. So it's a good way for a buyer to help out with the closing costs by using our buyer rebate program.
Awesome.
Yeah, and if I could add, I mean, this is all just the tip of the iceberg. We're working on even more things to make the customer experience easier, better, and more instant. So, it's pretty exciting the direction that Rex is going.
Yeah, actually, a few things I would add. I was just exposed to the new virtual showings, the automated tool. I'm sure you all have seen it. I just got to look at it yesterday, and wow, that thing, it ties everything together where you can get in and schedule. It's all, all the different options for looking at a house is just right there at your fingertips. And I've never seen anything like that in real estate. So that's just such a great tool to have. I'm really excited about that. Tell me, the other thing that I've just been exposed to was just how much data we have available, right, about buyers and sellers and just demographic, whatnot. Luke, I got to look at California, just some of the work we've been doing out there together, and it just strikes me that people from all different walks of life are coming to Rex, all different backgrounds, all different backgrounds, and do you find that that's true in the people you talk to, that this, it's a really dynamic customer base we're going after?
Yeah, so we're able to find buyers, any walk of life, right? If a buyer's relocating, Rich has the ability to know that buyer's relocating to a certain area, which is super helpful as far as our geo-targeting marketing goes. We could definitely, we know how much equity a buyer may have in their property as well if they wanted to sell the home. As far as if they need to be in a certain school district. So on the data science side, we're definitely gathering a lot of information that's extremely helpful for our sellers. And for us, our marketing is we don't cast a wide net, but it's zeroed in on certain buyers that we know are most likely going to be purchasing your house. So it's definitely helpful for a seller.
What about, so we do have great data and, I think economic analysis as well at Rex. So we're looking at the markets and trends, and I'm sure I could pull up a number, but I want to rely on the three of you. You've got so much experience there. What's your gut feeling? What are you seeing in your local markets? Where are they headed? Why don't we just close with that as kind of your own forecast of where things are headed in your markets?
I'll jump in. For our market, I see it as going to be explosive in the next couple of months because there's a humongous pent-up demand for properties, and people are holding back on listings, and buyers are holding up on getting out there. So there will be a fantastic growth spurt with Rex, just thanks to COVID holding things back while we keep forging ahead.
Great.
Yeah, in my markets, I agree with what Rick just said, but I'll take it another step further. We're already doing that. I mean, inventory is really low right now, and the buyers are out there. And the ones that, like we've discussed, the buyers that are there are, they're qualified, motivated buyers. Interest rates are low again. So, they're getting good deals. They just need places to buy. And, I think we just need some inventory. As soon as we get some inventory on the market, I mean, it's already taken off. It's just going to continue to grow. So I've been really surprised. I wasn't sure what COVID was going to do to the market. I ran my business through the housing crash. So, I was kind of worried that maybe we'd be running back into that type of situation. And it doesn't feel that way at all. This feels like it's just been a speed bump on, as far as my markets are concerned.
That's great.
Yeah, just to add to that, I'm definitely optimistic. As far as Rex goes, we're back to pre-COVID levels as far as showings have been increasing slightly every week, gradually, and same with offers and new escrows. As far as anything priced appropriately below 500,000, that's getting multiple offers in most cases, and if it's move-in ready, that's selling quickly. On the higher end, $1 million plus is sitting a little bit longer on the market, but it's still moving. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. Low interest rates, low inventory. If you are thinking about putting your home on the market, you might want to price it slightly below market, so then you'll get multiple offers and should be able to sell it quickly. So I definitely think that we're past the bottom. I could be completely wrong by the end of this call, but I do think that we're past the bottom, and it's only we're moving forward strong. It's going to be a great second and third, fourth quarter for sure.
Great. Well, Luke, Matt, and Rick, I really appreciate you taking the time today. Appreciate everything you're doing for Rex and your customers. So keep up the good work and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Colin.
right. Talk soon.